wanting to fly anywhere and force the combat early on. We talked about it a little bit off stream, Dean, how these two teams, I mean, they obviously both like DUST2, but the fact of the matter is NIP looked like the stronger team on paper. TURKEY5 would have to pull off a pretty big upset, jumping out on long. They avoid being taken down off the bat by Rez, but in comes the swing from Lekro to help out. 2 on the board and a lot of damage done. Survives a little bit longer. And with 20 HP on Beyaz, I don't think he's going to do all too much. The head actually ripped off.
It's going to be almost impossible, I would say, for him to really get anything done. Could maybe flank out this player who's trying to get aggressive up mid, though. Forest needs to be careful, getting shot from behind and gets overwhelmed. That's a potential MP5 now towards top mid that they could pick up, and every single bit of extra weaponry right now that they have available gives them that bit of extra chance just to get some damage in.
And a little bit of over-aggression, the confidence perhaps coming through from NIP early on. But it doesn't seem to be being punished all too hard, despite the one player that they lost.
The weaker weapons just being kept in play for NIP, and Getright on the scout, aggressive out mid, rips off the head of Imorrr and starts this round off extremely strong for NIP. That's what you need when you want an MP9, probably not the best weapon to have in that position, trying to, you know, catch the heads as they're crossing. So he may be a little bit limited. Hang on, though. Enishan going to try and drop down. Instead, they were attempting that split out through mid. Plopsky gets a bit of an upgrade on towards that AK, and now, of course, finds the info that they are pushing out mid. The timing, it's looking to be perfect. Sprays down one and eventually falls, but he delays things, and most importantly, drops that bomb in the open, which at that point pretty much solidified the round. You can see the T is just being torn apart on mid right there. Perhaps they're expecting this aggression again on mid. I mean, we did have Getright early on with that scout trying to push up. We had Forest in the round before that. But Forest this time just kind of hangs back, and with the M4 manages to just spray them down as they come in through that choke point. 2 players already gone, and a little bit of damage as well also being put in as Getright now drops 1.
They were so close to finding the kill on Forest. 2 HP and he escapes. That's going to hurt TURKEY5. They really want to get at least 2 eliminations coming into this if they don't grab a bomb plant as well. With the smokes and flashes already gone, and most of their players, it's all on to Beyaz to pull off a 1v5. Now, 2 kills here, and I'm going to be pretty happy with that performance. He spots at the arm of Getright, but not enough that he can get the wall bang. Peek coming through from Forest is ambitious, but he won't go for it again. At least I doubt he will, being so low on HP.
Yeah, no, just let his teammates deal with this. Otherwise, dropping that weapon would be pretty much needless. Also has a bit of utility to implement into this, because so far it's been a little bit slow. Just been holding back standard defaults as you kind of expect to see here on DUST2. As they do go out A long immediately this time, though. The flash almost catching Forest, but he was turned away. The M4 in hand, spraying them down yet again. This time they will manage to deal with him after he takes those 2 frags, but of course Rez, ready to follow up immediately, ensures that that 2-man advantage goes in favor of NIP.
The Molotov that went down on long wasn't dealt with immediately by TURKEY5, so they had a player that was completely isolated. Eventually the smoke goes down to allow them to come out and support, but he was already dead. And then obviously just picked apart one at a time from that point forward. With the bomb dropped in the open as well, their opportunities are really, really limited. They have to push towards long eventually in the long game. But the question is, do they want to go straight for it? Maybe go for a split down mid? I mean, that's even being watched. You've got Plopsky sitting down in B tunnels. He's comfortable enough. They won't come behind him at that point. Boost up above the smoke, but Lekro just spams through and takes down the bottom of the totem pole, leaving only Imorrr as about to be pushed up by Plopsky, not expecting a player top mid.
Back onto the pistols for TURKEY5. What is the plan this time around? The smoke on towards Xbox. They're trying to swap it up a little bit and take it over towards short instead. And unfortunately, even without vision this time, Forest will again manage to take 2 players. This time they don't even put in any damage, of course, not being able to actually spot him there on middle. So a very heavy, or very costly play rather here from TURKEY5 in order to get that map control.
They're on the pistols and they're trying to close towards the site to get those closer range fights where they can really thrive, but it's just not working for them. All left down to Engine, and he does manage to pick up 1. Rez being taken down off the bat, swing out, but Forest is there again. The A1S proven to be an efficient weapon for him, but he switches over to the AK. They've stacked towards B, suspecting a late B hit, and now those 2 A players are in a lot of trouble with Lekro taken down off the bat. Rez is the only defender, and he's going to go try and take a little bit of short control. First making sure they're not pushing up and then going down so that, look, if you lose long, you have to take short. You need some, if you just sit on the site, you're going to be pincered from every angle, and that's never going to end well for you.
Yeah, and even just for actually being able to get that retake in, you need to have control of one of those positions. Straight through the CT smoke with a flash, though. It doesn't work as well for Getright as you would have hoped, because it does still, of course, remain in an advantageous position here for TURKEY5 in terms of the manpower, but the bomb does still need to get planted. This could be awkward. Imorrr spotting them, boosted up in the CT spawn. How does Forest still manage to find that kill?
Flash goes out. Rez can swing on this and try to catch a couple off, but doesn't go too aggressive. So now he's got them unblinded to deal with, but he still manages to pick up 2. That's a good start, but Lekro behind that smoke has to play around it towards the Molotov they've just thrown. Still picks up 1, goes in the open for another, and it's all down to Bayaz. 1 versus 4. This man has had a rough start. Been put in these positions quite a lot, and as he walks out, Lekro's looking right at him with the AWP.
Apart from Imorrr, so he pulls out the scout, trying to see if he can get a bit of damage on the cross, and actually the re-peek allows for him to spot out Forest. And with that rip-off ahead, man advantage being found position. Of course, working with a man disadvantage on the CT side is never easy, especially here on DUST2, where there's so many different positions to try and keep your eyes on. Lekro, though, up close, not going to be able to find anything with the op in this round, and suddenly that puts a lot of pressure on towards Rez, and also Getright, who is rotated up towards this A bomb site. Spotting the cross, Rez eventually does manage to find 1, continuing the burst away. As the trades come back and forth, it ends up in a 2-on-2. Paz is low HP, as Getright is just going to allow for him to go ahead and retrieve that bomb. Doesn't want to give the chance here for TURKEY5 to actually bring this back into the 2v1.
I think that's the right call overall. Swaps to the M4 despite being low, because he knows he's got a little bit of CQB combat coming through. And then back to the scout. Alright. Just taking a couple pot shots, see if he can land anything. Molotov in play as well, so he can not only force Paz out, but possibly kill him, because he's very low. Molly comes through alongside, I think it was a flash that went in. He's going to be taken down by the M4, leaving just Engine, who's spotted in the open, and Plopsky deals with him. Really well handled by NIP. They take their time, they don't panic.
From TURKEY5 in that previous round didn't use their utility too well while coming up short. Trying to use it this time to allow for themselves to get out of long, and Rez just spamming away. In position as Tracer's being spotted. He now needs Getright to step it up, and what is that? 3 headshots being found, the third of which was through the smoke. Didn't have any vision on that player, and you can see Engine, he's not having a good time. Instantly just realizing he can't really afford to take that fight up towards long, picks up the bomb, and is left now a Paz in a 2-on-4 to try and pull off a little bit of a miracle here. It seems like they could be expecting even a flank in from behind here. Engine was being a little bit cautious at the spawn.
That was absolutely incredible from Getright. What a way to open the round and pretty much close it at the same time. Getright now starting to make his way towards middle, picks up Paz, and he's looking for the ace with the AWP. They're actually coming through mid as well, so I better walk right into his crosshair. Here's the opportunity for Getright. That would be some crazy momentum for NIP if you add it to the fact that after this round they'll probably be up 9-1. TURKEY5 have really got to feel shut out at this point. 40 seconds left on the clock, and Engine has no prospects. He has no idea where to go. The one thing he does know is that towards CT there's an AWP, and here's the peak going out in the ace. Getright walking away with an absolutely...
Pretty much the correct read in all of these rounds so far. 3 players again over towards the site where it is going to be needed on towards B now, as the majority of those T-Forces is going to be coming in through mid, trying to make their way through the window. Plopsky just mows them down with the M4. Getright and Forest going to combine to drop Engine, and with that Imorrr left in a 1-on-5, with just the scout as well to make things a little bit harder for himself. Anyway,
didn't work out too well.
Going back into that default, trying to get the short control. Lekro up close. He's been in this position a couple of times. This time, though, caught off guard. A shoulder peek, which I don't even believe was on purpose by Enishan, ends up working out perfectly. A molly onto the bomb site. Rez going to be the one here in the spawn to try and deal with. Getright on the corner, as they do at least contend with that first player. A 1-for-1 trade, not too bad. Engine as well now going to be able to actually creep out long, and as you can see, Getright's attention is kind of split between 2 different positions. That gives him the opportunity to go ahead and advance his position a little bit. Spawn out the player in the spawn as well. I was going to say Forrest had a little bit of a chance, but it's not going to happen. Plopsky now all alone. 1 versus 2 left to try and pull off on his own. He does have a defuse kit. No utility, unfortunately. No flashes or molotovs to force these players out. As Imorrr, of course, or Imorrr rather, posted up on the angle. Will be there to
isolate the kill on short, like you said. Maybe a little bit of an unfortunate unfolding circumstance for Lekro. The shoulder peek that came through maybe wasn't intended, but it worked out nonetheless. And from that point, NIP were just torn apart. We've seen a lot of impact when you've got the likes of Rez watching the cross. Head peek, when they're head peeking on short, and he's down towards the CT ramp. He's done a lot of damage from there, but he was shut down after just 1, a well-placed Molotov. And then obviously they faced him right afterwards. Getright isolated by the long flank, which was by Imorrr, I think. And just overall, a really nice approach to the round by TURKEY5. Looked much different to what we've seen from them so far, but now as they lose opening duels, things start to look a little bit worse for wear. Yet again, Getright has gone undetected. They've walked right past him and they don't even know it, so down goes one, spin around for the second. And yes, the trade is there from Paz, but he's 1v4 now. Has to get an ace clutch. And they know he's going back at this point. Flash goes down. They cover his retreat. The odds of him still being on long are quite low, and they know it. Plopsky coming down. He'll be looking towards mid. Won't quite catch an angle, though. And it looks like they're still suspecting him to be towards long, so Paz could find a potential free kill as he pushes up short.
Yeah, Forrest is
Here's
running
behind,
with his
right?
knife out, right? Hey, does he have any sound? Apparently not. There we go. Eventually, Paz turns around and goes ahead and takes himself what was a free kill for a couple of seconds. A small bit of utility. And it looks like, again, they may be just going back to that default. Maybe trying to pressure out mid, though, this time around. Unfortunately for them, though, Forrest is ready with the AWP.
Right, is going to try to peek them out here, catches them, they line up for him, and he does a little bit of damage to the second player, as well as the kill. Rez in the corner isn't going to be spotted, and the Goose strikes and finds a kill. It's all down to Engine. He's coming up on the flank on long, but the timing's a little bit off. His whole team are dead, and he has to find a 1 versus 4. Being watched by the AWP, and every single player that walks into
this time, a bit more weaponry available.
They're cut off from going to the site by the Molotov that's down.
Again, no.
The team kills are consistent from TURKEY5. Left in a 1v4 and an ace clutch. Again needed. It feels like we're saying that quite a lot. Bayaz certainly feels like he's about NIP here, obviously. They really liked us too. So the fact that TURKEY5 picking it doesn't really help their situation because they're not on a map that's massively favored towards themselves. And obviously Nuke, I feel coming into this series, that was the one that I would have locked down as NIP's favorite to take it convincingly over TURKEY5. But at the moment, Turkey aren't getting a whole lot done. They're getting stuffed.
Ooh.
Push coming up from Bayaz. This could work out very nicely. Or not.
Yeah, I mean, he probably should have just taken that shot and get right, because the second he stepped
NIP are wasting a lot of time here. They're going to have to get this bomb down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to all or nothing here for TURKEY5. Kills isn't enough, and maybe Paz can be the one that goes ahead and gives them the opportunity to pick up the round win. Finding that first kill there with the Deagle, throwing in the flash as well to try and actually delay a little bit, allow for his teammates to get in position alongside of him, and eventually takes himself a second there on the Lekro. Unfortunately, his teammates not finding quite the same amount of success elsewhere. Plopsky going to shut down that CT rotation from Engine, and with that Imorrr left in a 1-on-3, and he gets spotted creeping up that CT ramp. Coming in here, there it is. Some confidence to be displayed, of course. The AK already opens it up, and as you can see, instantly Imorrr with the scout not really able to do too much about this.
No, even close range there, he's not able to land the shots. He's been naded, he's been Molotov'd, he's been hit by multiple players, and wallbanged. What the hell can he do, really? NIP are dominating. They've dominated this map. It's looking like it's going to be 16-2.